trick here. You see this? Oh, you lucky duck. So when you're trying to remember how to spell would, could, should, think, oh, you lucky duck. All right, so do we have a Vinny today?
I can't find it.
Can't find him. Okay, well, let's keep going. Number, good.
First, now,
Good. And W-A says what?
wow.
Wow. That's right. Very good.
People.
People.
More. Wait. May. Has. It's.
This means it's like, is this a contraction? Like for it is? Like, do you see an apostrophe here?
Yep.
Oh, the apostrophe is a little thing that sticks up there. No. So this is the word it's, right? So it's just the word it's not a contraction. Oops, stuck together. These are super easy, aren't they? Try again. My, good. All right, now I'm going to show you something. I'm going to cover up the suffix. What's the base word? Call. Right. And then when I put the suffix ed back on, called. Very good. Right?
Into.
Two. Very good. Now, two is tricky to remember how to spell, isn't it? You know what I do to remember how to spell it? TW is also how the word twice starts, and we hear those sounds, right? So twice helps me remember how to spell two, even though we don't hear that W. And twice it's there, right? So it's they're kind of connected by their meaning, right? So if I do something twice, how many times do I do it? 2 times, right? So there's that connection. Very good. All right, so Vinny's, is this Vinny? No, that's not Vinny. Okay. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started then. And here we go. All right, so these are mixed up, so you gotta be on your toes, all right? So say same.
What are you?
Now say same, but don't say s. Excellent. Say mat. Now say mat, but don't say Great. Say drain. Now say drain, but don't say d. That one's tricky. So when I say drain, but I don't say the d, what's left is rain. Rain. We had to split that blend apart. Good. Those are hard, I know. Say cold. Now say cold, but instead of k, say s.
Sold.
Excellent. I see you like keeping that in your brain. This is another tricky one. Say sleep. Now say sleep, but don't say s. Think about it. Sleep. When I say sleep, but I don't say the s. That's right. It's sleep. The l is still there, right? We have to break apart the s and the l. Now let's do one more. Say flap.
Flat.
Now say, listen, flat, but don't say lap. Good. That's right. What did we have to break apart? The full, right? We took off the, but we kept the lap. Good. You guys are very good at those. Those are very hard, I know, when they start getting those twisted up. All right. So we're going to do a couple of things today. Can you cross off the A for me? Because those are all those things we want to be automatic at. So when I came and visited with you last week, you had started this book right here, The Splendid Pool, right? Now I have a couple questions before we jump back into it. The first thing, is this fiction, which means fake, right? Pretend story, or is it non-fiction?
Non-fiction.
So non-fiction means that it's not fake, that it's a true story. So is it true or is it fiction?
Fiction.
Fiction, right, because we have these illustrations, right? There's a lot of clues, right? Okay, so it's fiction. So in a fiction story, I have characters. I'm just gonna put a C for characters. I know it's been a while since you've seen it, but do you remember who the characters were? Yeah, it's okay. We'll come back to this and we'll fill this in. All right, how about the setting? Where was the story taking place? Okay, there was a house. I'm going to call it a special kind of house. It was a cabin, okay? So it was a cabin, and where was this cabin located?
On a
Yeah, like by the pool, right? Okay, so cabin by the pool. All right, now every good fiction story has a problem, and then every good problem has a solution. Have we found out what the problem is in the story yet? I know it's been a while since you've read it, but yeah, we haven't figured out the problem. So we're gonna have to be listening as we read to see if we're gonna discover the problem today. All right, and then maybe we'll even get to the part where the problem gets solved. You guys help me, okay? All right, so we'll come back to the story in just a minute. I just wanted to see what you guys remembered. All right, now we're gonna do something very interesting today. So in the word called, you remember I had C-A-L-L, and then my dry erase board's right here. All right, so I had C-A-L-L, all right, and we call that the base word. So a base word is a plain word, do this with me, with nothing added to it. So what's a base word? A plain word with nothing added to it. But then on your cards we had the vowel suffix ed. And I call it a vowel suffix because it starts with a vowel. All right. So this suffix, I'm going to code it with a little box. All right. So what's the suffix here?
Call.
The suffix is this part right here. Ed. What's the base word?
Call.
Call. So when I put a base word plus a suffix together,
Called.
called, right? But I'm going to teach you the fancy word for this. It's called a derivative. Can you say that? Derivative, right? It's very fancy, but you can get it. All it means is a base word plus a suffix. All right. So I've pulled some derivatives out of our story, and we're going to put them on this chart. Do we have writing utensils?
Yeah, they're right on the top of the card there.
On the top of the card here?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. All right, so I'm going to give you this chart, and then we're going to talk about what is on the chart, okay? So you'll notice 3 columns. Do you see these? These
Alea.
are columns that go up and down. All right, do you see those? All right, so the first column has a title. What's the title of this column? Base word. What's our base word here? Call. Right. What's the middle column? What's the title of that, Aaliyah? Yeah, let's close. Let's start with, we'll say the sounds you see. Suffix. Suffix. What's my suffix here?
Call.
Ed. That's my suffix. That's right. Okay, try these out. They may need a little sharpening. I'm not sure. If they don't work, I'll give you another one. Okay? I think those are going to be okay. All right, so we have the base word plus the suffix, and then this final column, here's the fancy word I told you about, derivative. Let's say it quick. Derivative. Almost sounds like Dorito, right? Derivative. Okay, so here's how we're going to complete this chart. I'm going to give you a word, and you're going to repeat it, okay? And then we're going to try to figure out what's the suffix that's in that word, all right? You ready? You got to listen like you did for your listening games. Let me find my little list here. All right, so here we go. The first word is gusting. The wind was gusting. What's the suffix on that word? Gusting. I-N-G, that's right. So in this first line, the first box in suffix, I want you to write I-N-G. Vowel, suffix, I-N-G. Good. Now, if I take ing off of gusting, what's the base word? Gust. Can you write gust in the base word column? Gust. You need to tap it out. Good. All right. Yeah, that's a What sound is U. Perfect. And then the final 2 sounds? Yes. All right. Now, if we put a base word with a suffix, it's that fancy word, derivative, right? So let's write the derivative in the final column. Put those together, the whole word, which would be the whole word together now. Gust plus ing is gusting. The wind was gusting. You're going to try that right, that big old word derivative, weren't you? That's good. That's ambitious. All right. Now I'm going to give you another one. All right. Listen carefully for what might be the base word and what might be the suffix. Okay, here we go. Lifted. The helicopter lifted off the ground. Lifted. What's the suffix you hear? Lifted. Okay, I hear a yeah, I hear that, but let's think about what's at the end. I can ed. There you go. Okay, so ed. Let's put it in the suffix box. Ed. All right. Now, what's the base word in lifted? Lift. Lift. That's the base word. So that's the plain word with nothing added to it. You're right. Or you make it lowercase. Okay. Lifted. Okay, so now let's check our spelling. Let's tap this word together. Ooh, what says it? It. I'm going to do this. It. What letter is that? I, right. Ooh, so it should be L-I, and then what letter says F? All right. So we got L-I-F. And then what's the final sound in lift? T. Right, very good. Some of these sounds are tricky, so we're working with them together. So lift. So put a T on the end there. Now, when you're ready, make the derivative. Go to the final column and write the whole word. Base word plus the suffix. Lifted. Very good job. All right, we have one final one. This is the word. I want you to listen. Think what the suffix is that you hear. Confused. Confused. That one's kind of hard, isn't it? Okay. You're very close. So if we can't figure out the suffix, let's see if we can figure out the base word. Confused is the whole thing. What could the base word be? Confuse. So let's write confuse in the base word column. So let's do it one syllable at a time. Con. Write that. Con. How would you write that? Say the sound. That's the first syllable. So let's figure out fuse. Tap it with me. You. And that Z sound, I'll tell you, it's going to be spelled with an S. Okay? So now write fuse. U. With an S. Oh, that actually is the second syllable here. So put it over there. Okay? So and then fuse. Okay? And for that U, okay, so put your U there. Good for you. Okay, so put fuse next to that, right? Okay, confuse. So the S is going to make a Z sound. So write an S there. And then I have to kind of give a little shout out because someone here at this table realized that for that U to say its name, we had to put a silent E on the end. So can we put a silent E after that S? All right. Can you change your K to a C for me? All right. Now, the word, oh yeah, you know what, you don't need that E, you just need the one on the end. All right, so now we're gonna add confuse, and then we're gonna put, I'll tell you, the suffix ed. All right, confused. Today, I am confused about this beautiful weather, okay? So we go, all right, ed right here. All right, I'll be with you in just a minute. Vinny, right?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. I'm Mrs. Trammell. So put your ed right there. Okay? All right. And then before we write the derivative, I'm going to write the word confused for you. I'm going to write the word confuse, and I want you to check your word confuse. Oops, my S dropped down a little bit. Check and make sure that your word confuse matches mine. Does it? If it doesn't, fix anything you need to fix. Confuse. Okay. Can you fix your confuse for me? See that? C-O, con. All right. Now we're ready to put confuse and ed together, but look guys, there's already an E there. So does this even look right to you?
You have to.
What I have to do?
You have to erase the E.
So get rid of that E and then bring ed over to it?
Yep.
All right, well let's do that. Put that in your final column. Confused. All right, that's your derivative. Put it over here. confused. We put the base word plus the suffix. You're awesome. Yep. So it should look like this in your derivative column. All right, very good. Can you put your names at the top of these ones again? All right, very good job. Okay, so we're going to come back over here and we are going to look for a couple of words in our story here in just a minute. We are 11:40,
Yeah.
right? Okay, very good. I'm going to take these up and I am going to actually also take the pencils up because we don't need those. Thank you very much. So what do you think? Can you say the word derivative? Derivative, right. So what we were talking about before you came is a base word is just a plain word with nothing added to it. But when we put a suffix at the end of it, Vinny, it's called a derivative. Fancy word. Can you say derivative? Derivatives. Kind of sounds like Dorito, doesn't it? Just a little bit. All right. So what we're going to talk about now, we're going to go back into our story, but I pulled out some fancy words for you. Like I know you like to learn big fancy words, right? Big new words. All right. So there's a couple of words that are going to be in our story. This word, let's see if we can decode this word first. It's pretty easy. There's a blend right there. Glint. All right, glint. So someone might say there was a glint in his eye when he looked at his girlfriend. What do you think that might mean? How would a guy's eyes look when he's looking at his girlfriend he loves so much? A glint in his eye. A little sparkle maybe? Little sparkle. Yeah, a glint in his eye. All right, so we're going to look for that word in our story in just a minute. All right, so what does a glint mean? Like a little sparkle. Right, okay, very good. Let's see if we can decode this one. Another blend. Oh my goodness. Crept. What does crept mean? What do you think? Sneak. I think I like that. Okay, so let's pretend like I crept across the bedroom. Like how would you walk like this? Crept. Kind of sneaky, right? All right, so we'll come back to that one in our story. What do you think? Another blend. Stew. Okay, now this is a multiple meaning word. So let's see if we can get at least one of the meanings. So stew. Anybody have ideas? You know both of the meanings?
Like you stoop like this.
Okay, so that would mean to duck down.
Yeah, and then like the stoop out of the ground.
Okay, so that was actually a stump, like part of a tree.
Yeah, that's...
Okay, but you're close because if I'm walking up someone's front steps at their house, does anybody have like steps up to their front door, right? That can be called a stoop. That can be called a stoop. So we're going to find this in our story. All right, and last one. Now, if I need to break this word apart, what should I know right away? What do I see that's going to help me break it? I see two of the same letter. So guess what? I'm going to cut it apart. Now, if this was little in my story, I would use my pointer power and I would cut it apart. Let's just read this. This is a simple closed syllable. Hall. That's easy, right? Super easy. Now, let's read this. Lure. Now let's put it together. You know this one? Try it. Holler. What does holler mean? What do you think? Okay. Am I hollering right now? Yeah, I was hollering, right? Okay, so I said holler, but then I put a suffix at the end of it, and I made a derivative, didn't I? This would be the base word, right? Okay, so we're going to look for these. I'm going to pass out the books to you, and I'm going to tell you what page to look for to see if you can find these words, and then we're going to get ready to read chapter 3. Okay? Oh, you know what? Anoop, can you cross off the B for me? Because we finished building words. All right? So the first word I want you to see if you can find is the word glint. That's on page 11. Glint. Tell me when you found it. I'll know because your finger is under it. Page 11, glint. So take your finger, scan, scan, scan. We're looking for glint. Okay, one person found it. Okay, oh, you found that one? We'll come back to that one. We're looking for glint. All right, I see 2 people found it. Okay, we should be on page 11. I'm sorry, page 11. Okay, All right, glint. All right, and I'm gonna help you because you didn't realize we were on the same. So there's glint right there. Very good job. Luke spotted a glint. All right, next one, crept, page 12. Let's find crept. Page 12. So actually 13, my bad. Page 13. Yep, all right, so we're looking for crept. Already found it? Oh my gosh, you guys are fast. Crept. All right, if you haven't found it yet, go back and look at the top line. Crept. There it is. If it was a snake, it would have bit you, right? Okay, crept. All right, next word on page 15, let's look for stoop. You found it earlier. All right, stoop, page 15. Got it? All right, got it. Stoop. All right, got it. Stoop. All right, let's look at that first line. Read that first part. June was on the stoop, everybody, with her broom. So is this stoop like I'm ducking down, or is this stoop like my front steps?
Front steps.
Front steps, absolutely.
My birthday is in June.
Is it? You know what? Mine is too. When's your birthday?
June 15th.
Wow, mine's June 18th. They're very close together. All right, holler is also on page 15. Can you find it? Holler. But I'm going to tell you I tricked you. Holler. Did you find it? How did I trick you? When I said find holler. Oh, there's confused. Good. How did it? What do we have there? Instead of holler, is it just holler? I put a suffix on there. So what's the whole derivative?
Hollering.
Hollering. You guys are going to rock this. All right, let's go back to page 11. Now, I think that someone around here, around these parts, taught you how to read together and then kind of like I'll call your name and it's your turn. Have you guys been practicing that? All right, so we're going to start everyone together, but if you hear your name called, then it will be your turn to read. All right, I got to get everybody's names. They were here on my little list here. All right, Mrs. Trammell. All right, so I've got Anoop, Vinny, Grace, right, and Aaliyah. I can remember that. All right, let's go for it. So let's start together. Just know when you get to the end of a period, you might hear your name. All right, but we're all following along with our pointer power. Here we go. Ready? Read. The next day was cool and the wind was gusting. As Luke filled his bucket, the wind lifted his hat up and blew it into the pool. Grace.
The hat.
I'm going to show you. Everybody, see that word? Cover up the suffix and let's read the base word. Spooked. Continue, Grace.
Goose and she flew from the nest.
Vinny.
It was
Yep, that's a silent E word. So Luke. Very good. All right, Aaliyah, will you take us off here? Page 13. Everyone. In it was a silver egg. Oh, here's another derivative. Cover up ing. Let's attack that word. What do you think it is? What? Twinkle. Twinkling, right. A silver egg. Twinkling where? In the sun. Very good. Anoop?
Luke could not help himself.
Everyone. He lifted up the egg in his hands. It was solid silver, as solid as a rock. So what did they compare the egg to? A rock. So that's pretty solid, right? All right, page 15. Yes. It is very shiny. It had that little glint to it, right? All right, let's begin together. Ready? Go. June was on the stoop with her broom when she spotted Luke running at her. Aaliyah. Oh, let's cover up the suffix. Read the base word. Hooting and Vinny. Good, you read that very well. Let's together, just for fun, read that with expression. Ready? Let's go back to that sentence. We are rich. We are rich, he yelled together. June was confused. Then she spotted the silver egg in Luke's hand. Very good. Chapter 4. All right, we're going to close up. You guys did a great job on that. So let's see if we can fill in a little bit of this. So our characters, we didn't remember, but I bet now we do. Who are our characters in this story? Luke and June. Can we get some details about them? What do we know about them? Okay, they're poor, and they have like a little farm. So I'm going to call them, so I'm going to call them farmers, all right? And before you got here, we talked about the setting was that it's a cabin by the pool, right? And then problem. Every good fiction story has a problem. Have we found a problem yet? No. All right, let's think about this though. All right, you're poor. You find this goose has laid the silver egg. That sounds like a great thing, right? I know, right? But he's pretty excited. She's pretty excited. They think they're rich. Could you predict that there might be any problems? Oh, it could be a rock instead. What do you think?
That can't be that or if you look, it might be diamond sided.
There might be a diamond inside it? Oh my gosh. Anybody else have some more predictions?
I do. Or someone.
Oh, it might be fake. Oh my gosh. Boy, that would be a real problem, wouldn't it? Yeah. All right, what do you think, Vinny?
What if they dropped it and it cracked open and there was an egg yolk in it?
Oh my gosh, that would be a disaster. All right, well, I'm not going to be here when you finish the story, but you're going to have to let me know if they're surprised by how the story ends. Yeah, what the problem is and what the solution is. You guys, this was very fun spending time with you. Before we wrap up, we have like 1 minute. I would like to ask what these words mean again. So if you feel like you